My name's Wes, and this is Chase the Drive. I've been working on cars for probably 20 years, and I've had a multitude of cars. I started when I was 18 years old, and I got my first car, which is a 2001 Honda Accord, and I did my first install in a Taco Bell parking lot. It was an intake, and it made it sound ridiculous. I bought the intake, I think at Pep Boys or AutoZone. Just like you guys, I started from the ground up. I've been working on different cars. I've mainly focused on Subarus, and I've been focused on them for, I'd say, the last decade or so. And my focus initially for this channel and for my first build was going to be my 2020. I was going to show you everything that I have done so far, and I have pretty much everything you need for a full build, just waiting to go in. But something happened. I think it's better if I show you. I was able to buy this. I had actually been looking at this car for about a year, maybe a year and a half before I pulled the trigger and actually made the purchase. This is a 1994 Mark IV JZA80 Toyota Supra, and it was imported directly from Japan, I'd say about a year and a half or 2 years ago, by Kuruma Auto down in Miami. And the guys at Kuruma Auto, absolutely phenomenal. Not only did they import the car and brought it in, they also got all the registration done here for the state of Florida. So I'm going to go through this car completely and show you everything that's there and everything that's going on with it. And now this is going to be my first build for my channel. Now, as you can see, the car's already got a lot done to it. All right, it has Volk GTC wheels. It's got a full body kit. The car is phenomenal. And the majority of the exterior I'm gonna probably leave alone. I may clean a few things up, I may touch a few things up, but I want to go through the whole car with you, show you everything that's got it so far, and then talk to you about where I want to go with it. Before I can do any of that, I'm gonna have to take the STI out and move it, put it outside, so we can go through the Supra together. Now that we cleared the car out of the way, onto the 94 Supra. I've been dreaming about the Toyota Supra since 1998, 8th grade. Long story short, I saw one in my neighborhood. The guy turned it on, he revved it real hard, and that was it. When the first Fast and the Furious came out, I absolutely lost my mind. But finally, the time ended up being right. It ended up being my time to get this car. I had stared at this car at Kuruma Import for well over a year, and now I want to go over what it's got from top to bottom so that you can see where we are and what we're going to end up doing. I want to show you guys everything I want to do to the car, give you a quick overview, and then next video we're going to start working on it, because right now the car doesn't start. So starting out, we have the Volk GTC wheels, and they are beat up. At first I was thinking about maybe going with a different wheel, but the Volks are such a classic wheel that I've decided that I'm going to keep them. Then going on to the brakes, as you can see, there's no big brake kit here. The big brake kit for the Supras in Japan didn't start going on until 1996, and so the US domestic model big brake twin turbo kit is something that we're going to be doing on this car. Like I said, it is a right-hand drive, and it is filled with a ton of goodies. It has a Vertex steering wheel, it has a Billet Works shift knob, and it has a single Recaro racing seat. This is the LS model, I think it is, but those are going to be replaced in another video. It has some HKS gauges as well as a secondary injection system. Not a lot of cars have secondary injection from this current era. This is very antiquated. Everything that the guy did on the car was perfect for when the car was being modified. But now it's time for a refresh. If you go inside, you can see double DIN audio system, which is going to be replaced. It does have the 300 km/h odometer, which I decided I wanted to keep. I don't want to do an update on that. Maybe throw some different backlights in. As you can see, the rears also have the GTCs from Volk They're wrapped in some off-brand tire, and that's something we're going to be replacing. This thing literally has no traction. And it's not, it's kind of scary actually to drive. You're in it and it doesn't want to grab. And I know most Supras are like that at a certain power range, but this one definitely doesn't want to grab. It has an aftermarket body panel kit. I'd say a body kit, but it's more like a body panel kit. It's got the rear splashes here, as well as the rocker panels. And then if you go to the front, it has a different front bumper as well. And I'm not quite sure the make, but it does have the LED front lights for the turns. It looks like the headlights are original. The car currently has an aftermarket hood. I'm not quite sure the brand. It may be custom, not 100% sure. I know that the hood is fiberglass because it likes to flop if I just put the hood strut up. So the strut installation is going to be something that we're doing in the future. Finally, I wanted to show you what's underneath the hood. Underneath the hood is a single turbo 2JZ GT engine, which is mated to a V160 6-speed transmission. From what I understand, the car had 53,000 miles. Also, just had the timing belt replaced in 2022, so we're going to be checking that out. Now, everything under the hood is a little beat up, but I want to keep the single T78 turbo. It's a classic turbo build from the early 2000s. I'm trying to keep the car, I'm trying to keep the car in the JDM era. I really love the gritty turbo kit. I love the way the car pulls when it was running. It's one of the better old school turbo kits for sure. As you can see here, it has a secondary injection system, which is controlled by the module that's over there in the dash that I showed you earlier. What that does is, back in the day, in the early 2000s, bigger sized injectors weren't available. They utilized extra injectors that were welded into the boost pipes, and these extra injectors made sure that the engine didn't run lean. So it's a little antiquated. We will be updating that, throwing a whole different fuel system in. Another part of the car I wanted to show you guys was the aftermarket wing. It has a carbon fiber big wing. I can't remember the name of the company. For a little while there, I was thinking about changing it and throwing a TRD wing on it, but then I decided that after looking at it, it's probably something I'm going to keep. I am going to clean it up though a little bit. Look right here on the wing, it's got some thicker areas of clear coat, and it has it over there as well. So we may end up sanding it down and giving it a better, just a cleaner finish. But we'll see what happens as time goes. Now, I think I've told you guys everything about the car that I know it has. I know it has a big turbo kit. It's got a lot of body stuff. It has a wing. If you look underneath, which we're not going to do right now, but I am going to get under there and show you, the car is pretty solid. Considering it's 30 years old, the owner took care of it. It only has 53,000 miles on it. It really, honestly, when it's on and running, it's a fantastic car. Even with the antiquated turbo setup, it was having some issues with starting. So we're going to go ahead and solve the starting issue. And once we can get it started all the time, we're going to move on to each issue as they come up. The cooling system needs to be completely redone. From the radiator to the overflow tank to both the upper and lower radiator pipes, as well as the thermostat. I think the thermostat is sticking here and there periodically, so it was given a not exactly overheating, but it wasn't in its happy place. I was playing with all the knobs and switches in the car. Just like anybody gets a new toy, I decided that I was going to play with everything. And one of the things I played with, even though, as you can see, I'm in South Florida, it's insanely hot, I opened up the heater core by turning on the heater and then proceeded to dump an absolutely insane amount of rust into the cooling system. Another issue, and it's probably the first time in history that a car that had an aftermarket exhaust, someone legitimately has to replace it instead of just replacing it because they want to. I need to replace the catback exhaust. It's more along the lines of from the turbo downpipe back. So that mid pipe is also being replaced. I don't know if the previous owner had the car slammed on the ground, stanced, or what he did to it, or maybe it was just the roads in Japan that he rode on weren't exactly level. But it looks like Swiss cheese. For tuning, I haven't gone and ripped up the carpet and looked. I'm not quite sure if it's a piggyback system because the car is catless. It doesn't overboost. All right, so I'm really excited that I have this car. I'm really excited that we're gonna get to do this together. It's a good example of a JDM Supra. I wanna thank you guys for tuning into the channel. This is our first build here at Chase the Drive, and this is a special one to me. It's something that I've wanted since I was 13 years old, and I'm gonna be able to share it with you guys. If you like what you've seen here today, I want you guys to hit the subscribe button, maybe tell a couple friends, maybe tell the dude at 7-Eleven. On that note, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed everything you've seen today, and I'll catch you on the next one.